Fallout 4 has a robust amount of weapons, stemming from the makeshift pipe pistol all the way to the Fat Man nuclear launcher. But what if you didn't have a choice in what weapon you got? What if every kill randomized your next weapon like in Call of Duty's gun game? My friends asked me the same question. Can you beat Fallout 4 while playing gun game? First, let's set some ground rules. I cannot equip weapons I pick up off the floor. Each kill will randomize the current weapon I'm using, and equipping weapons can confuse the mod. That's it. There's no other constrictions like the last challenge. Like every Fallout game, it starts with war, and I am a walking arsenal. I made myself and dubbed myself Boom Pop Wow, the noise of someone being shot in the head and me receiving a new gun within my hands. I spoke to the representative who had fear within his eyes, and I had no clue what to do with special points for this run. This is because gun game doesn't include just guns. Pistols, lasers, miniguns, melee weapons, and even the f***ing squirt gun is a possibility here. I wanted to go full agility and luck with everything else in perception, but I decided against that. I finally decided upon this gaggle of f***ery that y'all can laugh at later when this screws me. I addressed Boom Pop Wham, my greatest achievement within my life. However, my joy did not last. The government found me. A walking arsenal could not be left alone forever. To make sure that I did not survive, the global coalition had agreed that the world had to be destroyed. I had single-handedly caused the end of the world. I was frozen for my crimes, and my wife paid the ultimate price. When I awoke, God shuddered. His ugliest and strongest creation lived again, and would destroy everything that dared breathe near it. My hands would be my first weapons. I crushed the body of the first roach I saw, and I was awarded a shotgun. This mod has got to be the most fun thing I've ever played. Every weapon is a mystery and could either receive a fat man or your fist. There's no telling what you'll get. I grabbed my Pip-Boy, and it was time to leave the vault. I discovered Sanctuary, but skipped Codsworth. Instead, I went straight for the Minutemen. I greeted Dogmeat this time, and then I left him there. I was a god. Every raider led to me getting even stronger. I cut a raider's head clean off and whacked another one. Preston pleaded with me to solve their problems, and Boom Pop Wow got to work. After 10 minutes, I finally got the gate open, and I grabbed my power armor. I actually had a gun to fight the Deathclaw this time, the mod choosing to help me instead of fuck me with more melee weapons. I went back to Sanctuary, completed the quest, and trekked on to Diamond City. But before I could do that, I smashed a bat through Trashcan Carla's face, and sent Wolfgang and Simone to Juiceland to hang out with Juice WRLD. I ended up getting horrendously sidetracked and discovered Arcjet Systems, Fort Hagen, and a quick interruption as I was writing this, the game gave me a fat man, and I don't really know what mods are on it, and I'm kind of afraid. Turns out, it's a Merv launcher. I killed myself a few dozen times with it. I also realized, oh shit, I'm at the glowing sea, so I backtracked. And I found Vault 81. I wanted Curie as my follower, but as I sat here at my job waiting to go home and record, I decided, no, I don't need a follower. Diamond City was now my stop. I talked to Piper, opened the gate, and went into the market. I used Piper for free experience, and then I saw a commotion. Those two brothers were at it again, but with a little Boom Pop Wow, the problem was solved. Noticing I was only level 5, I decided to do a bit of side questing and killing because I was not going to have a repeat of last video. I ended up in Good Neighbor, where I beat this guy with a board. I belonged here. I could kill whoever I wanted. I obliterated some ghouls, found Abernathy Farm, and f***ed a raider with a super sledge. I went to Corvega at the bequest of Ten Pines Bluff. I kneed a raider so hard he flung into a wall, melted another, destroyed Jared's brain, and I left. Turned in my quest, and leveled up. I sent a scavenger to heaven, and rapidly gave a man cancer, died, and went and discovered green tech genetics, only to be killed by a glowing one, and then having to rediscover it when I respawned. It was finally time. Dino and Skinny Malone did not know what would walk through the door of the vault. A walking arsenal who was rewarded by his sick god for every kill. Fear spread like wildfire as the man of many guns ripped and tore his way through the horde of triggermen. Dino got his head turned to liquid. I murdered the triggerman between me and my way outside, confronted the big fat f***, and skewered him. It was back to Diamond City, where Nick pieced that the cereal company had something to do with my son. We raided his house, and I let Dogmeat be useful for once, before fast traveling to Fort Hagen, and it was time for war with a cereal box. The synths were stronger to melee weapons, but when it came to guns, they were no match. The turrets here gave me the most trouble, because every time I went to destroy one, I would be given a melee weapon. I ragdolled a synth and got caught in this hallway where I played hide and seek until I got the right combination of weapons. Kellogg wanted to talk. However, the railway rifle that God blessed me with killed him before I could utter a word. I stripped Kellogg of dignity and clothing and changed my look. This is the epitome of humanity. The Brotherhood came outside to play too, but I didn't know how to share. I traveled back to Nick and was told to go to Good Neighbor. But I got sidetracked. I killed every raider in Haymarket Hall, discovered Old North Church, killed Bosco, killed Demo, and sent this raider to Jesus. And then I did some work for Preston to level up and gain some new perks. I set up Starlight Drive Inn, built Sanctuary some beds, got running water, started a farm, and prepped some guns for defense. I then rescued a kidnapped person and helped out Grey Garden. The water had gone bad and it was up to Boom Pop Wow to figure it out. Injecting myself with drugs helped me deal with the super mutants outside. I managed to not blow up by firing a mini nuke inside at this turret. I drained the flooded treatment plant and got gangbanged by some Mirelurks, and then I restarted the main pump. I then returned to the robot lady. Something tells me that other than the food she gave me, she wanted to give me a greater reward. I went back to Preston and informed him that Overland Station was now on our side, but the Minutemen had gotten too big. It was time for the castle to be ours again. But I had lost track of my current goal. I traveled to Good Neighbor, and I accidentally stumbled upon some triggermen who had killed someone, so I killed them. Dr. Amari's plan was simple. Nick would be used to charge my old iPod from 2006, and I'd take a shit in what was left of Kellogg's brain. Once the iPod was charged, it showed that we needed to go find Virgil. You know what that means, we're going to the Glowing Sea. I went and grabbed my power armor from earlier, just in case. The Glowing Sea is the most irradiated cesspool of the Commonwealth, inhabited by Deathclaws, Bloodbugs, Ghouls, and the Children of Adam. I killed a Deathclaw with its own hand, learned from Virgil that I needed to track down a Courser chip, and then went to CIT Ruins, found the signal, and was off to Green Tech Genetics. As I plowed through the doors of the complex, I saw that gunners littered the place. Bullets flew past my head as well as rockets, and to get to the Courser, I'd have to get through them. Little did they know, they would have to go through me to get to me. The mysterious stranger pulled an Elvis and killed a gunner in the toilet. This one got its head exploded and another turned to dust, and I hit a home run. I decided this time I'd hear out the Courser, but before that, I killed a gunner to get a super sledge. He got his head crushed after he tried to kill me. I then decided then and there I wanted to be a meteor and jumped off the building. Tracked to Old North Church and found the railroad and got my chip analyzed, then went back to Virgil, and finally, it was time to decide who to join. I remembered there was someone who I had helped, and it was time for them to help me. The Minutemen would be my ticket into the Institute, and Preston was ready to follow me till death, as were the rest of the Minutemen. But there was one thing left to do. We needed to take the castle. We would have to kill Mirelurks and their queen. The Mirelurks weren't too bad. Grognak's axe made it easy to stun them and get hits on them, especially when I got it twice. The queen was a different story. I didn't have a gun, but a power fist, which then turned into a meat hook. This fight became horrible really fast as the weapons kept getting worse and worse. But I finally got a Gatling laser and burned through most of her health, then finished her off with a sniper. We had taken the fort. I then went off to Sanctuary to speak with Sturges about building the relay. Now I had to go on a scavenger hunt. My first stop was Listening Post Bravo, where I picked up a circuit board. I was then killed by the turrets, respawned, and decided to run past them. I went back to 10 Pines Bluff to see if I could unlock the power armor car on the train below. Tried to get the jump on some super mutants and died. Then let the suicider kill his friends. I could hack the terminal, I got the armor inside, and I got sidetracked once more. I went around to where I could find power armor in the Commonwealth for a bit. This included Fort Strong, the south of Fort Hagen, a crash vertibird, and I finally got a full set of T-51 power armor and became a walking advertisement. Then tracked down a biometric scanner to a hospital. Then my game crashed. Goody. I entered the hospital, the robots guarding it weren't shit, grabbed my biometric scanner, and I left. I returned to Sanctuary, where I built the rest of the teleporter, powered it up, and entered the Institute. I then came face to face with my son. Boom pop wham. But an old man had tricked me. I killed him. There was no way this old was my child. Synths swarmed my position, but they were no match for me. I killed them, and I left the Institute. It was time for revenge. Plan Z, if you would. We were gonna raze the Institute to the ground. I informed Garvey that the Institute was now our enemy, and it was time to form ranks. I returned to the castle, and Ronnie Shaw and I scrapped Sarge and cleared a path to the armory, boosting our firepower. I then helped more settlements to increase our favor and support our cause. I killed some raiders for Somerville, picked a fight with the Brotherhood, and stole the knight's armor. Helped Abernathy Farm in getting their locket back. But then, the castle called. We were under attack. The Institute wanted us dead. But we were not going out without a fight. I died. This quest is a bitch, and this mod hates me. Area of effect weapons would get the job done, but what does it do? Gives me a fucking commie whacker. I almost ended my run here. I don't think I've ever been this stumped or frustrated, but I was more determined and hard-headed than I'd ever been. After about an hour and 12 deaths, we had won. And I'm gonna be honest, I was pretty mad. I traveled to Diamond City to buy aid and oversaw the commotion. Mayor McDonough is a synth, and he has to die. I broke a walking cane over his skull. Pop goes the Weasel. The Weasel is the Institute, and I am the thing that's popping it with a nuclear bomb. I entered CIT through a back tunnel. Ghouls infested it, but were easily blown away by me and my godlike ability. After clearing some synths, it was back to walking in the sewage. I found the relay and called in the cavalry, and it was time to get our get back. I then broke the game. Preston wouldn't talk to me. I loaded back a save, and nothing. I went back 10 minutes, redid some of the stuff, and tried again. What had happened was that I have another quest I'm supposed to report to him for, and that broke my game. This time, it worked, and I got my spicy treat from Preston in the form of a nuclear bomb for the reactor. Preston reminded me we weren't here for mass murder, but I secretly was. I got a fat man in the hallway and remembered shouting domain expansion atom split before firing it. I watched the sentry bot turn synths into nothing and entered bioscience. The scientist would not be spared either. Boom Pop Wow shows no mercy. I gave this gorilla cancer, introduced this courser to America's pastime, and launched a synth upwards. I opened the reactor from the director's office and proceeded to the final show. I used the password from one of the named synths and opened it up and set the charge. But there was one issue, a child claiming to be mine. Something in me understood that this was the real Boom Pop Wham, my son alive and well, and I took my son with me. Sturgis then took us out and we stood upon mass fusion. I took one last look over the Commonwealth and pressed the big red button, ending humanity's best hope of the future, and beat Fallout 4 Gun Game. Thank you all so much for watching yet another video. If you enjoyed this video and want more, the best way to let me know is to like the video, and if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to tell me what you liked about this video or what you disliked about it in the comments as well. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed.